What's up guys, JV2017 here, and today I have some news that genuinely shocked me the first time I read it. If you've been watching my PS4 mods updates over the past 2 months, you know that I genuinely did not see this coming. I'm an optimist, sometimes to a fault, and I usually give everyone the benefit of the doubt before jumping to conclusions and conspiracy theories. However, in the end, this time, I was wrong. This morning, September 9th, Bethesda put out an update on Bethesda.net. I'm going to read it off word for word in this video right now, but I've also provided a link in the description to the article if you want to read it for yourself. After months of discussion with Sony, we regret to say that while we have long been ready to offer mod support on PlayStation 4, Sony has informed us that they will not approve user mods the way that they should work, where users can do anything they want for either Fallout 4 or Skyrim Special Edition. Like you, we are disappointed by Sony's decision given the considerable amount of time and effort we have put into this project and the amount of time our fans have waited for the mod support to arrive. We consider this an important initiative and we hope to find other ways user mods can be available for our PlayStation audience. However, until Sony will allow us to offer proper mod support for PlayStation 4, that content for Fallout 4 and Skyrim on PlayStation 4 will not be available. We will provide an update if and when the situation changes. Now I'm going to go over each point in this article one by one so that we can keep our facts straight. Starting off, Sony informed Bethesda that they will not approve user mods in the way they should work. That's their wording, where users can do anything they want for either Fallout 4 or Skyrim Special Edition. We still don't know specifically what they're referring to when they say in the way they should work, whether it's sound, like we know they had issues before with, graphic content, maybe they can't, censor that, or other things that Sony won't allow. It's anyone's guess as to what Sony refuses to approve specifically. However, I have heard rumors that it's security issues. Perhaps their console doesn't have the security measures in place to avoid some sort of attack on the PlayStation Network. I know it goes down frequently, so maybe they might be concerned with that. Once again, that's pure, complete speculation. It could be any number of things. That's the point that I'm trying to make. Next, Bethesda says they are disappointed by Sony's decision given the time and effort Bethesda put into the project and how much time fans have waited just to hear this news. Bethesda still considers PS4 mod support an important initiative and they hope to find other ways user mods can be available for PS4 players. So, to me, this is a clear indication that Bethesda places the blame in this situation on Sony. While Bethesda certainly isn't blameless since mod support for PS4 was clearly advertised by them, Bethesda says this is a Sony decision right now, and they've put a lot of time getting this ready. As much as people hate Bethesda, and they do deserve a share of the blame, I can tell you that they want more than anything for PS4 players to have their mods. They're not snickering behind the scenes, they're not being paid by Microsoft, they do not hate Sony or PlayStation 4 or any of the other ridiculous accusations thrown at them. Bethesda wants PlayStation 4 players to have mods, but Sony decided not to approve them right now. Before you tell me that they're being paid by Microsoft, consider just how bad this looks for Bethesda, especially after No Man's Sky and that whole debacle. No game developer wants to make promises and then have to apologize 11 months later because they never happened. Bethesda does not want to be the next Hello Games. This looks bad for Bethesda, and no amount of monetary bribes from Microsoft would make up for this awful PR. It looks even worse for Sony, who just funneled a ton of money into No Man's Sky and now seems to be the only one standing in the way of mod support for whatever reason, as we talked about before. The article goes on to say until Sony allows them to offer proper mod support, mods for Fallout 4 and Skyrim Special Edition on PS4 will not be available. This is just another reiteration that Sony is in the way and mods will not be coming to Fallout 4 or the upcoming Skyrim remaster in October until Sony allows them to be. They cap off the article by saying that they will update if and when the situation changes. So, here's my take on all of this. Consumers on PS4 should be angry. They have every right to be upset with Bethesda for promising a feature that hasn't come yet, but also upset with Sony for standing in the way. We know Sony's track record with Bethesda. It's really bad. I mean, so bad that Bethesda has put out subpar versions of their products on Sony consoles since Fallout 3, for all I can remember. Now, once again, I'm not on the inside, but I can tell you that this turn of events does not help the relationship between Bethesda and Sony. It can't. Bethesda is a business and they make more money if they release their games on more platforms, but I imagine these events have to have some sort of effect on the future of Bethesda publishing games on Sony consoles. Whether it was a miscommunication issue, someone at Sony said, yeah, we'll get your mods working, whatever it was, this looks really bad for both of them. And from what Bethesda have told us, they've given everything necessary to Sony to move forward. Sony just didn't approve it. I also want to talk about what this doesn't mean, because I know a lot of people are upset over this. Like I said, people have they have a right to be, but we don't have a right to make up fantastical stories about what's really going on. These are all assumptions. As a community, we need to stick to reality if these big companies are going to listen to our feedback and not make these kinds of mistakes in the future. First off, Microsoft more than likely didn't pay off Bethesda to make this happen. Anyone claiming this as complete fact has a basic misunderstanding of what you need to make big accusations like this, and that's evidence. Of course, people can assume and say, oh, they probably paid him. That's fine, but you can't go out there and say, yeah, they paid him off. If you have no evidence, you're just making assumptions based on nothing. You need something to go on to make that claim, and if you don't, then you're just talking, and no one takes that seriously. I do understand if you want to be salty and you're just throwing out random BS and, you don't want to substantiate it because you're just mad and you're not going to buy another Bethesda game. I understand that sentiment. But if the goal is to make sure that Bethesda hears us and realize, that they can't make this kind of mistake again in the future, the way to get that done is not to hop on social media and tweet at Pete Hines saying that they lied, they took money from Microsoft, or any other ridiculous claim. If you don't have evidence for that, then you're not helping this situation. Unless you're on the inside and working with or for Bethesda, then you don't know anything more than the rest of us. That's fact. Next, this doesn't definitively mean that PS4 mods will never come. I know a lot of you will disagree with me here, and other creators will make a similar video like I am right here and tell you that PS4 mods are canceled. I won't tell you that because that's not what Bethesda said. I won't sit here and tell you that they're canceled and are never coming. I don't know what the odds are, but they haven't closed the door on that possibility yet. They even said PS4 mod support is important to them, and they hope to find other ways user mods can be available for PS4 players. Even though they said that, you should absolutely not be optimistic or looking forward to PS4 mods just because of that line. It's been so long, we've had so many delays, and this official word, should not make you optimistic. That one line shouldn't be, the saving grace for any of this. The reality is that this is a blunder in this industry, and we will never forget it. The community will not forget this. You can't promise something and not deliver it. Again, No Man's Sky is the perfect example of that, and that game has been torn apart ever since it came out. This is most certainly going to hurt Bethesda's sales for Skyrim Special Edition across the board, especially on the PS4. I don't know how they could possibly do it, but if I were working for Bethesda, again, I don't have industry experience, but I would be trying to find a way to make this up to players. I don't think they can do it, honestly, but try to find some way to make this up to everyone that was waiting so long for this. I'd like to hear from you all in the comment section below. What are your overall thoughts on the situation? Whether or not you have a PS4 and you've been waiting for these mods, how does this make you feel? And I want you to be honest. If you're super salty, let me know, because again, I understand. I sympathize with that. I understand where you guys are. So let me know what you're thinking in the comment section below. Also, are you still going to buy Skyrim Remastered, even if it doesn't have mod support? I'd really like to know that as well. Alright guys, today I shared my thoughts on the PS4 mods news for Fallout 4. Next time we will cover more Fallout on my channel, so stay tuned for Fallout 4 tips and tricks videos. If you learned something new or enjoyed this video, remember to hit that like button, I would really appreciate it, and don't forget to subscribe for more Nuka World coverage and general tips and tricks videos. Talk to you guys next time. Peace!